Hey guys, welcome back to World of Tanks. My name is Bruce and today I want to talk about the Tier 8 French light tank, the ELC EVEN 90. Furthermore, I want to show you why I adore playing French light tanks and why I prefer them over any other light tank in the game. If you're interested in more reviews and gameplay, go to YouTube and search for World of Tanks with Bruce to get all of my videos, or click on the subscribe button. In addition to this, you can now also support me on Patreon, so feel free to follow this link and become a patron. And now, let's go. So before we start with some gameplay, let's quickly talk about how I play this tank. First of all, my crew is quite okay, working on the third skill. The commander does have a couple of other skills. So first of all, obviously my crew does have brothers in arms, then the concealment skill, and then I'm working on the gun handling skills. So as far as the commander goes, I am training on recon. Then I will, next will be situational awareness to increase the view range, because so far I don't hit 445 meters. And then the gunner is working on the intuition skill, which is pretty handy for an autoloader. And the driver is working on smooth ride, as you can see. So what would I train next? I would go for I think repairs for the driver, and then for the gunner I would maybe also go to repairs, maybe snapshot to increase the gun handling. And yeah, that's about it. Now I set this tank up as a pure spotter. So as you can see, I use coated optics, I use the noise exhaust system, and then also the commander's vision system. Now you can switch them around whatever you like if you would play with the premium consumables. So you would be able to get 445 meters of view range even with having this equipment on the first slot. But I have it set up differently because I'm only able to get 441 meters of view range. This is why training recon is very important, and then thereafter, once I have unlocked situational awareness, I will also be able to get 445 meters of view range. With this setup, I am managing to get, well, I get 49% of camo value, which is very, very strong for a tank. And if you take a look at the field modification, you can set up the second equipment slot, and this will be very beneficial to, let's say, make this tank ready not only for a map which allows you to play the passive spotter, but also for a map that is basically unsuitable for a light tank like this. So this would be very beneficial for the tank. And then as far as the rest of the field modifications go, yeah, I think it's not too much of a difference. Obviously, yeah, you can increase your top speed, which is in my opinion not really useful, because the tank goes up to 70 kph anyways. You can reduce the other values if you like that. And then as far as the rest goes, loading mechanism, yeah, you can decrease the reload time by 3%, but in my opinion this is also not very useful. I would go with the aiming mechanism to increase the aiming circle size, which is in my opinion much more useful. And then here you can select between the valves tuning, which increases the engine power, or you can select the this setup, which actually increases the forward speed. So in my opinion, actually I would go for the improved engine power. That's how I would set up this tank. Alright guys, first game in the ELC EVEN 90. We're spawning on Redshire in a tier 8 matchup, and let's first of all take a look at the map. Spawning on Redshire in the north, the situation usually looks like this, and with a light tank you have several options. You can play aggressively here and try to spot all the enemy tanks that are moving towards this side of the map. You can go right here, and this is actually, in my opinion, a good option for a tank that has a good camo value, because you will be able to spot those tanks here, certainly if they take a shot, but sometimes also prior to that. Plus you can also spot the enemy tanks that are going towards the heavy flank. So in my opinion, those two options are the best ones for you in a light tank. Alright, so as you can see, we have two light tanks in the game. So if I was kind of the mission commander, I would tell the bulldog, sorry, to go to the, what is it, the E3 position, and then I want to go to this position. Now, unfortunately, it looks like the bulldog's also going to my position, but I think I am the better spotter, so I should definitely go here. But anyways, it looks like we're going to the same position, which is not a perfect gameplay. But anyways, I will just sit here and try to spot all the heavy tanks going towards the heavy flank. I want to turn around my tanks so that I can egress out of this position quicker. Okay, looks like the IS-6 is going to this position. Alright, here. Oh, damn it. Come on. Oh, bulldog. That was... Oh, God. Yeah. What a stupid gameplay by him. What a freaking stupid Okay, calm down, Bruce. Very stupid gameplay by the M41 Bulldog to just push me out, and then I took a shot from the CS-52 list, so I lost 1/3 of my hit points already. So very, very stupid gameplay. Unfortunately, I went into the reload, but yeah, I don't care that I cannot help the M41 Bulldog so far. I just want to wait and have my tank reloaded. And then, okay, it looks like he is pushing towards me, so, okay, here you go. Nice, fortunately he is taken out. And so, yeah, I'm reloaded now. Bulldog has lost half of its hit points, but what a stupid gameplay. Okay, so I think I will go back into this position. Yeah, Bulldog, you stupid. Anyways, okay, I think I will go back into the position and try to spot other tanks. And so let's see how it goes. Okay, here you go. I can spot some tanks. So yeah, obviously the big strength about the ELC EVEN 90 is its camo value. If we take a look at the stats, it doesn't have any armor whatsoever, so make sure that you not stand still so that the enemy will not hit you. You have a small tank, which is great for that. But if the enemy tanks manage to shoot HE on you, you are basically dead meat, and that is the weakness of this tank. You only have 900 HP, which is also not too much. Your view range is, I would say, okay, not too great for a tier 8 light tank, but also certainly not too bad. Now, the huge advantage of this tank is its camo value. 22.12 is the best value on any tank in the game. And so yeah, this is the big strength of this tank. So this is the best passive spotter in the game. Now, looks like the LT-432 managed to move towards our position, and so I think we should definitely punish him and try to take him out. Yes, he will certainly spot us, but we will in a second be out of the render range of the Lansen C and the VZ. And now we will try to get a shot. Now, okay, we bounced the first shot, which is bad. Oh, okay, we bounced the second shot. Okay, that is now really, really bad, because now he can hunt us down. And I think that's what he is going to do. And that is super, super bad. Now, while we are trying to escape from the LT-432, nice, he's fortunately taken out. We can take a look at the weaponry, and this is, on the one hand, the big weakness of this tank, but then on the other hand, it is kind of a strength. And the reason why I like to play French light tanks, in fact, I adore playing French light tanks compared to other light tanks, and that is because of the autoloader that those tanks offer. Now, the DPM of this tank is horrific. Nothing else to say. 1152 base DPM is insanely bad for a tier 8 tank. It is incredibly bad, and I think the worst value on any tank, maybe on any tank in the game. So that is a huge weakness of this tank, right? So I think we should move here, because the Scorpion G is taken under fire from the artillery, and so we definitely do not want to sit in this position. 175 penetration is also bad. 220 alpha damage, on the other hand, is relatively nice because we have a 3-shot autoloader, so we are able of dealing 660 damage within only 5 seconds. Now, unfortunately, the gun stats are pretty bad. 0.36 dispersion is okay, however, look at the aim time. 2.78 is horrific once again, and then the dispersion values are also pretty bad. The worst value is the obviously the 0.73, but that actually doesn't matter because it's the dispersion with a damaged gun. But all in all, the gun handling is pretty bad, and you will more often than not make your 3 shots of your clip. But you have an autoloader, and so you can punish other tanks in quite a short amount of time. Okay, so back to the game. We are kind of losing this game right now, and so now we want to position ourselves in a kind of central position in order to spot the whole enemy forces. And so, as you can see, with our camo value, we even did not get spotted while shooting the WoT 46. So now we are spotting the IS-6, and we also spotted the 122 TM, and as long as we are spotting those tanks, they can be taken under fire from our team. And so this is kind of the game winning position that we are having right now. So our goal is just to sit here and then just to spot the enemy team, not only on the A lane but also the WoT and also the tanks in the south, so the Stritzwagen S1 and also the Lansen C. So as long as we are playing the spotter for our team, everything is under control. Now, if we take a look at the mobility, once again, it is kind of a dark but also then a light picture. So 70 kph top speed is good, 20 reverse is also good, but then with only 160 HP, we get a power to weight ratio of only 23.88. Now, don't get me wrong, almost 24 is not bad for a tank, but for a light tank, it is on the lower side. And then the overall mobility is just not as good as with other tanks. So yes, if you have reached your top speed, then the mobility is great, but reaching this top speed takes longer compared to other light tanks. And so overall, in my opinion, this tank has a mediocre gun handling. Actually, we can call it a lackluster gun handling. It has a mediocre mobility, but it has an excellent camo value, and it is a fantastic passive spotter. And another strength, as you can see, the gun handling is just insanely bad. Now we got spotted, so we do need to move. Fortunately, we bounced this shot. The second huge strength of this tank is its very low profile, and due to the fact that this tank is so tiny, it is relatively hard to hit, especially if you keep moving. So this is a strength that you should really exploit. So yeah. The third strength is obviously its autoloader. So if you manage to conduct some, let's say, some close quarters fight, some close range fight, you can use your 3-shot autoloader in order to deal to deal 660 damage towards the enemy. Now, due to the very bad gun handling, you cannot expect to hit the enemy tanks from a medium or far distance. So you will only be able to make 660 damage once you are basically decreasing the range to your enemy tanks to a very close distance. Alright, so so far we have spotted 1800 damage, and we made 847 by ourselves. And then this game is a little bit, you know, long lasting, but I kind of prefer those games over the games that only last 5 minutes. And so our game plan once again is to go to this bush and just to outspot the enemy, collecting spotting damage, and make sure that our team wins this game. This is our goal. And actually, this game was the second game that I played with this tank, and later on the second game that I will show you was the first game that I played with this tank. And so I really do like this tank. Yes, it is worse compared to the AMX 1357 on tier 7. However, it still is a very fun tank to play. So as you can see, the only remaining tanks are the heavy tank and the Lansen C, and then also the Charioteer. The Charioteer was last spotted on the K2 position, so now my goal was to, here you go, take out the Lansen C. Yeah, I think I was spotted here. Okay, so now I track the T26E5, but I definitely do need to evade. And now my goal is to, I will first predict or do as if I would go back to our artilleries, but now should not be lit anymore. And now I will go and hunt down the artilleries because I think they will be a game changer. If they are taken out, it will be beneficial for our team. Hopefully the Scorpion G will manage to take out the T26E5. He is not down to being one shot. So yeah, exactly, that was what I expected. And now I think I can go down to the K lane and try to hunt down the artillery. So all in all, which tank would I prefer? So if you are trying to, or if you want to buy a French premium light tank, I would certainly recommend to buy the AMX 1357, because overall I do think that this is the better tank, at least tier for tier. It does have the better gun handling, it does have the greater firepower, it does have the better mobility. It does not have the insane camo value, but it has quite, I would say it has a very good and a very solid camo value. Plus, if I'm not mistaken, it does have about the same view range. Okay, now let's concentrate on the game, because we do need to flank this tank. Now, fortunately, he did not make the shot, and as the turret traverse speed of the Charioteer is very, very low, we can use our reload in order to circle him, and so he is unable to take us out. Now, we have reloaded, and so let's just finish off. Okay. Artillery is finished off by our team, and then, as you can see, in the end, we made 3,200 spotting, 1,200 damage on our own, so 4,400 damage combined. An excellent result in the ELC EVEN 90, and I think it gave a good impression of what this tank is all about. It is a very strong passive spotter due to the fact that it is very slow, not very slow, but very tiny. You can basically use every bush on any map, which is a very great advantage of this tank. But as I said, this tank does have an autoloader gun, so even with its very, very, let's say, horrific gun stats, you can even make this autoloader work if you are spawning on a map which does not allow spotting at all, and this is what we're going to see in the second game. Okay, as I said, second game with the ELC EVEN 90. This time we're spawning on Himmelsdorf, and yeah, before we talk about the options or the role in this situation, let's talk a little bit about the map. Spawning on Himmelsdorf in the north with the light tank, you do not have too many options. You can go aggressively into this position, however I do not recommend to do this, because you might get taken out quickly. Instead, on a map like this, which is not suited for spotting, I would play defensively and just try to see where opportunities arise. So what can you do? Certainly don't go here, in my opinion. You can go to the hill and try to get one or another shot on the enemy team, but you can also go here and just try to play defensively. Maybe move down here, get crossfire towards the hill, and just look how the game is developing. Alright, so yeah, we will just try to play defensively and see if one or another option arises. Obviously, a passive spotter is not, or let's put it like that. Himmelsdorf is certainly one of the worst maps for a passive spotter like the ELC EVEN 90, but due to the fact that this tank does have an autoloader, things are actually not too bad, and I will show you what I mean in this game. Now, so first of all, I want to go to this position, and now as you can see, the problem is this tank is so tiny that I cannot look above this little cover right here. So instead I go here to the side and fully aim in, so to make my first shot if one or another tank will be crossing. So as there's no enemy tank, alright, nice. Now I spotted the Rheinmetall Borsig. I want to go here because from this position I can get crossfire towards the hill. But maybe first on the ELC EVEN 90. No, he's hiding behind a building. So instead I want to concentrate on getting crossfire on the tanks that are playing on the hill. As you can see, the aim time is horrific. 2.78 seconds is yeah, it is just so bad. Okay, but nonetheless, we want to make damage. Okay, too bad. That was actually pretty nicely aimed, but not too much what I can do. Obviously, in this situation, I do not want to reload. Oh yes, actually, I do want to reload because I'm expecting the ELC EVEN 90 to push forward. Okay, our ELC EVEN 90 is pushing forward. I don't know if this is a smart gameplay. No, he is actually taking shots from the hill. Now, as you can see, the enemy team kind of went to the hill. And if you are playing on the hill, that can be all right. However, you have to keep in mind that you can be taken under fire from the position right here. So yeah, our ELC EVEN 90 got taken out, which is bad. And now here go. So let's wait 3.5 days until we have fully aimed in. Nice, we can make a shot on the Progetto 46. Nice. And now maybe if those tanks will advance further, then we might get a chance to actually make more damage. So as you can see, in such a situation, it's just the only possibility you have is to play calm, you know, relaxed, take your time, and then just wait for the enemies to make mistakes and for an opportunity to arise in order to make damage. The game is 3 minutes old, but we only made 211 damage, no spotting damage whatsoever, and yeah, that's just how it works. Now, ELC EVEN 90 is making pressure, so we definitely want to cut him off and maybe take him out. I do not want to go into reload because I want to make my shots. Now let's see if he's waiting around the corner. No, he's not. So let's see. So this is an opportunity that I was talking about. You just have to wait for one or another opportunity to arise. As you can see, now we even track him. Here you go, and bam, we made 2 shots. Nice, and he's taken out. Okay, excellent. So excellent. So yeah, at least 656 damage. Now, the ELC EVEN 90 is a fantastic tank for your field modifications. So remember, if you unlock the field modification, you can come to the point where you can select 2 different equipment setups. So I would go for the equipment setup that I'm using on a map where you can spot and use this tank as a passive spotter. But then for tanks, for maps like this, for city maps, I would go for a equipment, let's say loadout, that just improves the gun handling of this tank. Nice, we made 2 shots on the Bisonte for the C45. Excellent. And yeah, slowly but carefully we are increasing the amount of damage that we make, and I think this is the exactly right gameplay of this tank on a map like this. Obviously, the good thing is that the game is more or less stationary, which gives us time. And now we want to help the WoT tank on the hill, because we certainly do not want to push on our own. Looks like the Carnarvon Action X is not making pressure at all. And so yeah, we definitely want to help the WoT tank on the hill, because I think this is the most beneficial gameplay that we can do right now. Obviously, and some enemy tank has moved towards the cap, maybe the ELC EVEN 90, but for now I think we are good to go, and maybe the Carnarvon Action 10 is able to decap. So yeah, my game plan now is that I will try to maybe go down here and then fall into the back of those tanks and to get shots without receiving damage. Now let's see how it goes. Okay. I think I will be spotted by doing this, so you know what, let's just... I think I need to help the WoT tank instantaneously in order to... Yeah, I just need to help him out. So obviously if we are fighting in close combat, as you can see, we don't have any problem whatsoever to make our 3 shots. And now this is a perfect example of how to use your autoloader. Now yes, I took 2 shots, but I enabled the WoT tank, the M3Y, to win this flank, which was critical in my opinion at this point of the game. So now I'm out for 25 seconds, but the M3Y is able to, yes, nice, to win this flank. And so I think it was a game-winning move from my side and the correct play to trade hit points right here. So can we get a shot on the Rheinmetall Borsig? So as you can see, this gun is certainly not made for sniping. Just a horrific gun handling once again. Very, very bad, but that's just how it is. Nothing what you can do. As I said, use the field modifications to set up a equipment lowdown which is suitable, or which improves at least the gun handling in a city map. But other than that, the gun handling is just really, really bad. But that is, yeah, it's just a balancing factor. So all in all, I wouldn't say that this tank is kind of superior or even something like overpowered. Not at all. I think it can be situationally insanely strong if you play it as a passive spotter on a map which is suitable for doing this. But then other than that, you have to play very, very cautiously, very, very smart in order to make damage on a map like this. Now, certainly the ELC EVEN 90 is trying to push the A lane, trying to push our artillery, and we want to cut him off in order to get at least one or another shot. So that is exactly what we want to do. We have 300 hit points remaining. Nice. Here you go. And then second shot. Nice. So we take him out. In the end, we made 2,100 damage. So in my opinion, an excellent result for a map like Himmelsdorf. And this is the great advantage of French light tanks, and this is the reason why I like to play those light tanks compared to other light tanks, because you do have the firepower, the increased firepower that you receive just by having an autoloader instead of a single shot tank. Now, the weaponry, as I said, is very bad on this tank. However, you do have the autoloader, so you can make this tank work even on a city map. And yeah, as far as the spotting capabilities go, this tank is insanely good. It is the best spotter in the game, and yeah, all in all, a very fun tank to play, and I really like it. However, if I would have to choose between the AMX 1357 and the ELC EVEN 90, I would certainly go for the AMX 1357, because it is overall tier for tier a lot better compared to this tank. Alright guys, that was it for today with the ELC EVEN 90. What do you think about this tank? Do you like it? What do you think about French light tanks in general? Do you agree that having an autoloader is so much more beneficial compared to a single shot tank? Just leave a comment in the comment section down below. If you liked the video, give it a thumbs up. If you hated it, give it a thumbs down. Consider subscribing to my channel, and I see you next time in another World of Tanks video.